good. We can get started now. Let's get my channel up so I can see my chat. As always, because it's never working on OBS. Right. There we go. What is going on? We live everywhere? I think we are. Interesting little setup last night with the infamous GFS. Interesting little setup here. Actually, you know what I want? Okay. Yeah, then we'll go. There we go. Good morning. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to get on before 7. I'm actually trying to be on by 6, but it's difficult. I posted 3 shorts on TikTok so far today. I posted 3 shorts on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Filmed, edited, and posted an entire 8 to 10 minute video. Updated my Discord, and then the one thing I still haven't got to is posting on X. It's just I'm like getting faster, but I need to be able to do all of that in like probably 2 hours. It's taking me a little bit longer than that right now. I'm gonna get super sufficient. Although I woke up late today. I didn't wake up until like 4:15. That's why I'm behind. If I had gotten up at 3, I would have been good. What is going on, everyone? Look, snow maybe. Probably a normal winter for South Jersey, right? Snow-wise. Well, we can get into that. Maybe not. I'm assuming above average. I don't think you're going to have a ton of snowstorms in the Mid-Atlantic, but I think you're going to have a couple big ones, and I'll show you why. There's a lot of things that suggest that. I do think we get the return of the almighty nor'easter this year that we haven't seen in a while. Big storm that could drop 2 to 3 feet of snow. We'll go over why. Yeah, PA as well. I mean, Inner New England's going to do good regardless. So Western PA is going to do good regardless, I think. But I think Southeastern PA, Philly is going to do good. Listen, I just posted my video today, and I spent some time talking about the Mid-Atlantic specifically. We can just talk about it now. Oh, by the way, how do my levels sound, guys? Can you hear me? Okay, I messed around with some by accident. I like deleted all of my audio channels, and I just recreated all of them, and I have no idea if my voice is going to sound okay. Tell me if it needs to be a little bit louder. Check. Levels sound good. Okay, and you can hear whatever background music is going on right now. Right? Okay. Yeah, I deleted everything by accident because I'm an idiot. Sweet. Oh yeah. Okay, guys. Let's get into this. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. You know, I need a little bit more of a chill song right now. Oh, this is a great chill song. Listen to this one. All right, we're gonna play this, and we're gonna talk about. Everyone's asking. I know a lot of people, and this is normal. Sometimes people come in my streams are like, "You only talk about the East." Do you guys know the population split east of the Mississippi and west of the Mississippi? What is it, like 80% of Americans live over here? 80% of people who live in the country live over up and down the East Coast here. I mean, you'd probably include Chicago in it. So it's just there's a lot more interest in the East. A lot more people ask about it. But I am more than happy to talk about weather out in the West. And I do. I bring it up in all my videos. But the East gets a little more attention. And when I say the East, I'm including like Texas. When I say, I mean, we're drawing a line like. We're drawing a line like this, right? Because you got to include Dallas and Houston, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Omaha, Minneapolis. It's everything west of here where it's like 20% of the population. So I just get less requests about out west. But anyways, yeah, let's get into it. First of all, here's the GFS that came out last night, guys. Okay? Big snow for Inner New England. Huge snow. This is over 2 weeks. We're not going to see this exact thing, but showing you how aggressive it's being here over the next 2 weeks. Holy smokes. What do we want? 20 inches of snow in Minneapolis. I would love that. I don't think we're going to see this much snow, though. Let's take a look at all the new model runs, and then I'll tell you, and then we'll take a look at how things are going on in the atmosphere and how I think things are actually going to turn out. Because remember, these are just model runs. We also want to look at the ensemble, and I'll show you the GFS ensemble. Ensembles are important because it shows 50 25 to 50 different outcomes, and it averages them together. So, you know, ensembles aren't as aggressive. But on an ensemble, when you see this gray, it means a little bit more because some of these model runs don't show any snow. So still seeing potentially snow through the upper Midwest and then inner New England down through the Appalachian Range on the GFS ensemble. Let's take a look at the 06Z. Deterministic. Do I hear my child? I do hear my child. Let's take a look at the 06Z deterministic here. Don't worry, my wife's up. I don't just leave him wandering around out there. Back to the GFS, back to the 06Z, and let's take a look here. Look what the 06Z is doing, okay? Next weekend, guys, we're getting a snowstorm somewhere. I promise you, we're getting a snowstorm somewhere up here. It's going to be a big snowstorm. Will it be farther south? Will it be farther north? I don't know yet, but we're getting a snowstorm next week. New England, you're going to get some snow up in the Vermont, probably up in the Adirondacks, up in Vermont, New Hampshire. You're going to get some snow easily early to mid this week, but or this upcoming week. But next weekend, here we go. Every model shows this, some form of this. They all look a little bit different because it's about 180 hours out. The 06Z still loves putting some snow into Minneapolis and then maybe into Milwaukee. We'll see. And then dumping snow into inner New England. So that's what's on the 06Z. The 00Z likes it as well. I do want to take a look. The Euro AI model actually lets us, the Euro 06Z deterministic doesn't go out as far. The Euro AI does. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about the Mid-Atlantic, guys. Let me just show you a little bit of what's happening here. Look at the AI model, Euro AI. Again, snow for these regions out here. Getting really close, getting snow, trying to push down towards the Mid-Atlantic. It's a little bit warm along the coast. Anyways, here we go. Here was the Euro run from last night. I think the Euro run's being kind of not doing much except for dumping snow in Appalachia. Look at that. It wants to put over a foot of snow down into the high elevations down there in Appalachia. Still up in the Northeast, but this isn't being that aggressive. I think the Euro's not being aggressive enough. Sometimes I do agree with the Euro more. I think the Euro's not being aggressive enough because of what's been going on with that warming up in the Arctic, and just how it enhanced the storm track. These storms look coming off the Pacific. So I'm actually inclined to believe the GFS a little bit more here in this situation. Anyways, let me take you guys into what's going on here and into the MJO cycle and all the good stuff. Give me one second, guys. Hold up. We're gonna I'll tell you what I'm thinking for December and January from coast to coast. There's been a little bit of changes. I think we could be at a phase 7 and 8 going through December, which if you're in the Mid-Atlantic and you're in Virginia and you're in Jersey, you're probably going to like that because that enhances your nor'easter chances. So we'll look at that. The MJF forecast is starting to look actually more amplified as well. So the more amplified it is, the more it affects the region. Really quickly here, let me do this. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's talk about it. You know, sometimes, and look, if you don't know by now, I obsess over winter. I grew up in Florida. I lived in Florida for 24 years, and the joke in Florida is we have 2 seasons, summer and spring. We get about 2 weeks of fall and one week of winter. When I say winter, I mean like it gets down into the 30s, and everyone has on their ski jackets and gloves and is going to the hospital from hypothermia. But I always grew up so jealous of people up north. Now, I will say I've only been living up north and had winters for like 3 years of my life. But I do understand why people get tired of winter. Because we had, I think was it last January or the January before when I was in Philly, where it was like the coldest January in the last 30 years. And we were heating our house with electric. And our electric bill was like $600 and something. It was absolutely ridiculous. It didn't get above freezing for 3 weeks. And I was like, okay. and it didn't snow. And it's like, well, okay, if it's not going to snow, this sucks. It's just cold and my bones hurt and I'm paying a lot of money. So I kind of understand now, but still I like winter. Okay. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm just going to go straight into what's going on with our MJO cycles here. MJO forecast, because this is a little bit bigger of a winter update than I usually do. MJO cycle. Let's get a better looking one. Can we get a better looking MJO forecast here? Let's go here. There we go. This is prettier. If you guys don't know what the MJO is, Madden-Julian Oscillation, it's a basically low pressure system, a pocket of moisture that originates off the eastern coast of Africa and makes its way across the Indian Ocean, Maritime Islands, and then the Pacific Ocean over 30 to 60 days. It's a seasonal thing, seasonal anomaly. So where are we right now? We're somewhere over here. Excuse me. Over the next 15 days, we're expected to be approaching phase 7 of the MJO. Why is the MJO important? Well, the MJO really manipulates our weather over here in the States, especially over winter. And as we get towards Thanksgiving, here it goes, trying to approach phase 7. By the way, the closer this is to the circle here, the less amplified your MJO is, meaning the less effect it has on us. The farther it is away, the more effect it has on us. Not only is this getting towards phase 7, 8, and 1, which, by the way, are much colder in the States and potentially give us an more active winter storm track, but it's getting more amplified. Notice the direction it's moving in. I'm still really convinced we're going to have a really aggressive winter up front, and then the second half of winter is going to get a little warm, but we'll get there. Look how amplified it's getting, right? Yeah, guys, if you're having any issues on TikTok, thank you, mods. If you're having any issues on TikTok, just join me on YouTube. It's TikTok. It's not my stream. TikTok has been having server issues. There's nothing I can do about it. It's not on my end. So, but if your screen does go black, what you can do is refresh the stream or just close out and come back in, and typically that fixes it, which again shows you that it's not my issue. It's a TikTok issue. All right. But so why is this important? I'm about to show you. I as a winter lover would love a phase 8, phase 1 MJO in January, which we may get. Let's take a look at our MJO composites. Here you go. Whoa, Pam. Twirler Pam, I appreciate you. I love it. That's actually a cool one. I mean, they do a pretty good job with those. Pam, I appreciate you. And good morning to everyone. Welcome to the Climate Crew, Brandon, even though you're already a part of it, but I appreciate you. Pam, Kimberly, Christian, NTX, what's going on? Guys, look what happens when we get into phase 7, phase 8 of the MJO. Oh, sorry, we don't want to be here. We want to actually go into, we want to go into November, December, January. Look at phase 7, phase 8 of the MJO. You know what this blue means? Below average temperature anomalies. Now, again, this doesn't guarantee it's going to be colder than normal. This is just, there's many factors. You have to account for SST anomalies and other climatological factors, like what's going on up in the Arctic, ice-wise and ENSO-wise, but ENSO-wise in the Pacific. But look at this. Phase 7, phase 8 is cold. And that's why, again, we're projecting more of an upfront cold winter. And then going back into phase 1, when you look at the NDJ, November, December, January, MJO composites, look, cold, 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 cold. Are we really entering the 3 coldest MJO phases here as we get into November and December? Is that why everyone's thinking, especially December and beginning of January, could be very cold? 100%. If you look out over here on the right side, should I slow down, guys? Am I talking too quick? Significance percentage. What's weird is the lower the significance, the more the MJO affects it. I don't know why. I don't know why it's like that. It should be the opposite. But phase 7, end of November, beginning of December. Okay? Where's the significance? Look at the Northern Plains and Upper Midwest. Look at this, okay? The MJO has a major effect. MJO phase 7 has a major effect on the Northern Plains and Upper Midwest as we get into the end of November and early December. And what does that affect? Typically well below average temperatures. Moving into phase 8, which I think we'll be in December, beginning to mid-December, cold. And where are the biggest effects? Well, Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, and New England. This region in specific, if you guys can turn your phone sideways on TikTok, you'll be able to see this much better. But Mid-Atlantic, Midwest, and New England tend to see major effects from a Phase 8 MJO, and they tend to be very cold for December. That, again, supports why I've been saying I think we're going to get earlier snow on the ground in Jersey and Eastern PA, maybe Maryland, Delaware, and stuff like that, earlier than we've seen in a while. It doesn't guarantee it, but it increases our chances for sure. And then getting into Phase 1, who knows? End of December, early January, that is very significant for Northern Plains, Midwest, Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, portions of the Northeastern Southeast. I mean, really, everyone, pretty significant for everyone out east except for the far southeast, right along the Gulf in Florida. The MJO pattern couldn't get any more chilly if I tried to make it, with a weak La Nina in this potential MJO cycle and how amplified the MJO could be. That's the whole point here. This is a kind of decent development with the new MJO projection forecast. So again, I mean, yeah, Virginia. First, there's no reason for me to look at the. There's no reason for me for Virginia to not, look at the MJO cycle and weak La Nina and see how things are setting up and not say we could get snow earlier in the season in Virginia than we've been seeing lately. So things are pointing towards that. And guys, I know right now people come in and are like, you just say it's always going to be cold, it's always going to be snowy. I'm showing you and I'm explaining it. Okay, I'm not just making it up. And I don't think the second half of winter is going to be very snowy and cold. It could be though. It could be. Some people are comparing this to 2001 season as a composite that was pretty cold throughout winter. So it could be. And we're still not guaranteed to have a crazy cold, snowy first half of winter. I'm leaning into it like 7. I think this is like a 7 out of 10 chance, like a 70% chance based on what we're seeing, maybe even 80% chance. It's looking really nice for wintry winter first half for most people, except for potentially out west. But again, out west, that could flip. In my head, that could flip end of January. And out west could see an extended ski season because of that. If you get a lot of snow and cold air out there at the end of January. Anyways, that's what's going on here. For anyone who missed it, our GFS, did GFS things last night and got super aggressive with snow. Got super aggressive with our winter patterns. I like to show you the updates every morning. Here we go, New England snow. I mean, this is our 00Z. Look at this. This would be like a foot of snow for Minneapolis. And a bunch of snow up there in the Northern Rockies. Moving forward, this would be feet of snow for the Northern Plains, Northern Rockies, high elevation, Northwest, and potentially even snow down into Milwaukee and a little bit down into Chicago, and then maybe even to Detroit, Pittsburgh. I mean, if this were to happen, I think this is a little bit too aggressive, but this is about 10 days out, and the GFS is being super aggressive with snowfall there. Euro, not so much, but we'll compare models and we'll talk about it. End of the GFS here wants to put a clipper into the Mid-Atlantic with snow as well. I'm not sold on that yet. Taking a look at the Euro 00Z, it sees a similar pattern, which is good, promising, but it doesn't see it as aggressive. There's a little bit of snow up in inner New England as we get into the end of next week. Here's our snowstorm, our big snowstorm next weekend that the GFS sees. The Euro thinks we might be a tiny bit too warm, wrapping a little bit of snow around the back. Here's severe weather probably, by the way, next weekend through Dixie Alley, but wrapping a little bit of snow around the back. See, the Euro does think we're going to get snow up here, but it could be maybe 5 to 6 degrees too warm. But I don't know, because this trough looks very amplified. On this future reflectivity. I don't know that we're not going to have enough cold sinking air in there to turn that into snow on the back end like the GFS thinks. And then again, that transfers out east. This would be potentially a major nor'easter if we were in December. You can see a low pressure running up the coast here, and then as it gets up to coastal Maine, that turns to snow. So mini nor'easter up there for upper New England is what the Euro thinks moving forward. And then another big dive, and the GFS sees this too, potential severe weather event, potentially some snow on the back end of this as we get farther in the Euro. The Euro and GFS are seeing the same things. They just disagree on how much cold air is going to be available. The Euro thinks more cold rain and thunderstorms. The GFS thinks the back end is going to be more snow. GFS is being a lot more generous. That's typical. A lot of times, it's typically 60 to 70% of the time leans Euro, but what happens the majority of the time, what I've learned, is you get a combination of the Euro and the GFS. It's somewhere in between. It's not as snowy as the GFS, but it's not as rainy as the Euro. Okay, and I'm gonna get to questions real quick. Let me look at the GFS extended here real quick. and take a look at 35-day snow totals, what it's expecting. Here's our 35-day snow total updated from the GFS. Being pretty nice to a lot of people. Upper Midwest, Northern Plains, Inner New England being extremely nice too, and of course the Rockies. Trying to get snow out there to the Mid-Atlantic as well in the next 35 days as well. Trying to get snow actually out there to the coast. And if we were to look at the European weeklies, 32-day, let's look at the 46-day. Being extremely generous, the 30 on this one. Look at Inner New England. Huge snow. Being very, very nice to Wisconsin, Michigan, portions of Iowa. I mean, trying to be really nice to Chicago as well. Northern Plains. So interesting kind of developments there. Let's see if the CFS extended. I don't think the CFS extended is going to show us this. But one other thing that was in my video, actually, I wanted to cover. This will take me about 60 seconds. Look at our monthly 500 millibar height anomalies from the CFS. This is actually pretty significant. Okay. Let's get into, let me make sure. I want to go, or do we want to go seasonal? Let's see here. Yeah, the Canadian's not going to show any cold air. That's kind of what the European does. It doesn't show cold. It just shows average troughing and warm anomalies, height anomalies. All right. Anyways, getting into here. Here's our control on the CFS. Hi, buddy. You have to come in and say hi again. All right, really quickly. Come here.
Hi, stream.
Okay, say hi, stream.
Hi, stream.
Okay, we can do that every morning now. Okay, I'll be out soon. Okay, close the door. Thank you. Good job. Watch your toes. Nice. All right. Last thing, and then I'm gonna get into all. Oh, thanks for posting that in announcements, Brandon. Last thing, and then we're gonna get into all the questions. Guys, he dressed up as Chase from Paw Patrol last night, and it was actually adorable. Hold up. So cute. Yeah, Mini Connor's cuter than Big Connor. Yeah, I hope everyone had a good Halloween as well. And all the kiddos. UCF, Megan, I appreciate you guys. All right, anyways, last thing real quick here. I'll make it quick. Here we go. December. What do you guys think? This is on the control. Ridging out west, troughing out east. Shocker, right? This is what we're seeing. This is on the control. I'll show you the ensemble as well. January. I actually like January for snow in the Mid-Atlantic and New England even more. Because what happens when we get big ridging in Alaska? These high height anomalies pushing up here. Miss Cantori. What happens when all this heat is pushing up against this big spinning thing up there? This big low pressure system up there? I know you know this answer. This signal. Large Alaskan ridge. Cold drops down. That's right. It puts pressure on the tropospheric and stratospheric vortex, and when we get that cold air gets squeezed out, which you kind of see right there. And then also the blocking out here and the blocking that comes down the coast. This setup for January, if we were to see it exactly like this, we probably won't see it exactly like this. But if we were to see this exact setup, you'd have. You remember last year when we had a foot of snow along the Gulf? We had a setup like this. A lot of heat pushing up. You guys could hear that warning, right? I had to fix that too. We had a lot of heat pushing up, a lot of high heights pushing up in Alaska. So we had our polar jet collapse, kind of polar vortex collapse down towards the Gulf, and then it tried to ride up the coast, but didn't fully ride up the coast, just got in the south. But yeah, this right here is a complete nor'easter setup if we were to see this in January. But we'll see if we have our opportunities in December. December looks cold for the east. We just don't have I think the correct blocking setup. So anyways, that's January. February looks like astronomically cold for the east. I don't know if I believe the control here. This is wild. The heat we have up here, and then this is wild. I'm not even going to entertain this right now. This would be record breaking easily. Let me just go over the seasonal. And or sorry, not the seasonal. Where'd I go? Where'd it go? Yeah, CFS seasonal monthly. Taking a look here. Boom. November, cold plains and out east again, similar to the control. You can see that right there. Similar in December. January. January is interesting. The seasonal 30-day anomaly disagrees with the control. We'll see what happens. Anyways, let's get into some questions. Let's get into some questions. I gotta get back down. How do I take me back down to the States? Thank you. Any snow for Virginia? Like I said, I think early season snow for Virginia. I think Virginia will get snow earlier than it usually does. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't put out like a fully updated winter prediction video, but I've been, in a lot of my videos, I've been talking about how things have been changing. I still have my last training video of the 3 to put out on the sounding. I have a little bit of time this weekend. I can get that done. And then my fully updated winter, which I need to get that, the fully updated winter outlook out now, because it's not really an outlook if we get too close. Let's see. You think North Carolina will be snowier than last year? I think the mountains will be. Low elevations, we'll see. But right now it's looking pretty promising for low elevation North Carolina. I would say maybe not along the coast, but Charlotte, even Raleigh-Durham region, Greenville. Let's see. I know you've said you expect Ohio to get a bit above average snow. Yeah, but when do you expect first significant snow for Dayton, Ohio? Late November. I think we'll have an early one. Nancy Brown, Marissa, what's going on? Sorry if I missed some of your questions. You guys can always re-ask. Just don't spam. Philly winter. Again, I don't expect a ton of snowstorms through the Mid-Atlantic this winter, but I expect a couple big ones. So that's why I expect the Mid-Atlantic to see, coastal Mid-Atlantic to see above average snow, but not because I expect a lot of snowstorms, because I expect a few big ones. Not that you guys couldn't see a ton. I mean, we could see it's kind of Clipper system setting up where we do see a lot, you know what I mean? But Chicago outlook, yeah, I mean, MJO phase 7, end of November, beginning of December, looks very cold for this region, including Chicago. So early start to winter for Chicago, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Des Moines, potentially Omaha. We'll have to see if it gets to, if we get that jet pushing down far enough for Omaha, potentially Detroit. Chicago should have a pretty good winter, pretty wintry winter. With the MJO phase in a weak La Nina, it's pretty promising on the front end. So I think Maryland will get snow. Wait, when do you... Oh, like the Baltimore area? I think we'll get some snow in early to mid-December, which is earlier than we've gotten in the last, 4 or 5 years. I think early December we could actually see snow out there in the Mid-Atlantic. There are years before where we get snow that early, and I think this is going to be one of those. And if it's not, you know, hey, maybe it's not, but things are pointing towards early snow. Like I said, a more wintry season for these regions in the front end of winter. Indianapolis snow. Indianapolis is another region. If you looked at the NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration winter outlook, they circled this whole area for above average precipitation this winter. And they also highlighted this region for below average temperatures. Indianapolis is in that, is in the below average temperatures and above average precipitation. So it's in both. You do the math, they expect a good, at least a snowy winter for Indianapolis. And I can show you that. I'm not making this stuff up. Here you go. NOAA winter outlook 25, 26. Make sure I'm in the right one this time. That's we don't want, we want here, no, let's go. And we want the whole thing. Yeah, give me a second, guys. Here you go. 25, 26. They actually have here December, January, February. Here's our above average moisture for Indianapolis. And they actually have average temperatures. But I mean, average temperatures with above average moisture, you're probably going to see above average snowfall in Indianapolis if that happens. You would expect it to. I don't fully agree though with this. I think this cold air is going to be a little bit farther to the south and a little bit farther east, like that. But that's just my My opinion, you know. They obviously have smart people who make these types of things. I just think NOAA's tends to not be as aggressive with their outlooks, which I can see why, but... It's snowing in Upper Michigan right now. Let me look at something real quick. Let me look at something real quick. MRMS. Why isn't it letting me show? I wanted to look at that. Why isn't it letting me show precipitation type right now? Let me go over to Radar Omega. And let me go into Radar, MRMS, precip type, winter weather. It's showing a little bit of flakes up there. I mean, like UP, you see a little bit of, you can see a little bit of snow up here. Yeah, in the Upper Peninsula. So, and a little bit right there, heading towards Traverse City. That's our current radar. Some showers just moved through Des Moines. Lots of showers down here through the Southern Plains, heading out to the southeast. Not really thunderstorms, but, and we got a big, tons of moisture funneling into the Pacific Northwest as well. Snow and the higher elevations. You've got a little bit of a funnel of moisture off of the lake here into Rochester and Syracuse. Some of this is trying to turn into snow. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some flakes flying up there. Listen, go Colts, fine, but I'm not a Colts fan. But go Colts. Listen, actually, I have a little bit of an issue with them. I'm a Giants fan, and Danny Dimes decided to be good again. Okay, why he couldn't? I mean, I know why he couldn't play like that for the Giants, because we didn't give him a wide receiver or an offensive line. Fair. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for the Colts. You know, you guys have struggled just like some other teams for a while. So you know what? Good for you guys. You guys deserve Dimeback. You guys deserve a little bit of happiness, I guess. What do I think? Eastern MY? What's MY? No, not go Colts. Don't remind me of the Giants. I like how Jackson Dart, or Daddy Dart as I call him, or Dart Vader, won Rookie of the Month, and he went 1-4 or 1-3. He won one game because he looked great in every single game. Our defense, he drove down with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to take the lead in one of the games, and then we still lost the game. Like, he literally went 1-3 and won Rookie of the Month because he played so good. I feel so bad for him. Danny, oh my God, I'm still thinking of Daniel Jones. Jackson Dart, it looks so good. I feel so bad. I'm not even, our season's over. I kind of want to bomb now to get a high draft pick, but I'm just like, man, he deserves better. We got to get Neighbors back. Injuries are killing us. Oh, maybe New York. Is that what they meant? My Eastern New York, first snowfall, early December, probably. What is Eastern Tennessee looking like, not counting the mountains? Yeah, I was going to say, because the mountains want to get some snowfall here pretty quickly. The GFS specifically is being pretty nice to the mountains. Actually, I think the Euro might be being even nicer. Let's look at the 06Z of the GFS. Taking a little bit away. Let me look at the Euro 12Z. The Euro, look at the Euro. 00Z. It's putting feet of snow into the Eastern Tennessee mountains, but not down in you know, low elevation Eastern Tennessee. Eastern Tennessee is looking pretty average to below average temperatures here through November. Not impossible to see early season snowfall somewhere in December in Eastern Tennessee as well, I think, actually in low elevations. Next season should be fun. Why do you think that, Fade? El Nino? Western North Carolina area, yeah, most of our models show a lot of snowfall potential there for early season. Dart Vader is sick, yeah. Yeah, Cam Scatterbo. He's not going to be out all season, but part of me is just like, just sit out all season and heal. We're not doing anything this year. Does Alabama have a chance for snow this winter? Yeah, 100%. Right now, it looks like your greatest chance for snow is probably... Man, December and January... And this is why I got to put out a new winter outlook, because I have it very warm down here. We're starting to see signs, especially with the MJO phase, that maybe we actually get colder down in the southeast than I think. So I would say the trend is towards a higher chance... is getting towards a higher chance for snow in Alabama. Right now, like if we were to tell you right now, I'd say not a great outlook for snow in Alabama this year, but it's trending better because of what our MJO is doing. So it's an interesting area to watch, the southeast. It's starting to look like it could be a little bit better than originally projected. Oh, you mean with the Giants? Yeah. We get Neighbors back. We got Scatterbo, Dart healthy, and we get one or two good draft picks. I think it could be a really great season next year for the Giants. When will Wisconsin start getting snow? Listen, the GFS thinks Wisconsin could get a big snowfall. We're talking about 9 or 10 days out, 8 or 9 days out. The Euro doesn't see that snow getting as far south. It has a little bit farther north in northern Wisconsin. But Euro AI, which is supposed to be better than the Euro, disagrees and thinks... that's the ensemble. The Euro AI says, hey, no, we're getting some snow down there into central, potentially to southern Wisconsin over the next 10 days. So, yeah, the Euro AI and the Euro deterministic are disagreeing with each other. The AI models are supposed to be the next gen, better models. So, but again, I really like the Euro does pretty good. So I'm not fully bought into the Euro AI yet, although some of these AI models have been doing pretty good. We'll just say that. When will Maine get snow? Probably pretty soon. The Euro AI at least thinks not coastal Maine, but inner Maine within a week, maybe 8 or 9 days. And then you look at the GFS here. The GFS is telling us we're getting snow in Maine, big snow in Maine again, not along the coast, but everywhere else, 8 or 9 days out. I mean, so European deterministic 00Z talking about Maine. Again, it thinks we're getting snow pretty soon. Just not along the coast yet. The OOZ of the GFS is so aggressive. I would love for this to happen. I really want snow, but I'm in Missouri. Yeah, there are some runs of the GFS earlier on that brought this trough a little more amplified, and all this, they brought this snow through Kansas and Missouri. I'd say a 2% chance of that happening. Rochester, New York's probably going to get some extended lake effect snow this year. That's pretty decent. The GFS does have out here, by the way, 11 to 12 days out. Good snowfall for Rochester, New York, but it's near the end of the run, so we can't have full confidence in that yet. I will say the pattern's interesting. We're continuing to see this pattern of storms. There's one. Here's another. Here's another. Oh, what did I do? Moving forward. Here's another. So it's a favorable pattern for snow in Rochester, New York. Westchester County, PA. We're going to start off like we typically do. Western PA is going to have a better chance for early season snowfall just because they're farther away from the ocean. Their temperatures aren't as moderated. But I expect Eastern PA is going to get early season snowfall. Earlier than we typically do. Like typically you're not seeing out in Philly and anywhere in Eastern PA snowfall until sometimes January over the last 5 years. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. Kentucky for snow? Well, Kentucky is expected to have above average precipitation this year, like we were just looking at. They're expected to have above average precipitation. I think it's going to be a tale of southern Kentucky and northern Kentucky. I think northern Kentucky may have a pretty good winter. Southern Kentucky may have a lot of ice. Although in a La Nina and in our MJO phase, you would expect some very, very cold shots of cold air through November and December, at least through mid-November and in December. That's what we're talking about with our MJO phases here. Here's phase 7, 8, and 1. They're all very cold, and this is what we're entering through November and December with the weak La Nina that brings that cold air down through Kentucky typically. So, like I've been saying, the front half of winter looks pretty chilly for everyone out east, excluding the far kind of right along the Gulf and Florida, and then excluding right out here. Probably not even. I would say probably just right out here. These areas look like they could struggle a little bit, maybe even down here towards Texas. Not just because of their location. Like, I'm talking about anomaly-wise. Listen, Minnesota, if you're in Minnesota and you like snow, you really love waking up to what the GFS did this morning with the 00Z. Potential foot of snow there, potential 2 feet of snow there, potential foot of snow there. I mean, it's being super aggressive. The Euro keeps a little bit, the Euro sees similar storm pattern, but it doesn't think the cold air is going to be quite there yet. So it sees those storms as well. Here you go. It sees that storm, but it thinks it's just too warm to turn that into snow. We'll probably get a mix of the GFS and Euro there. Sees that second storm as well, struggling to get the cold air down there, but it's seeing an active storm track as well, both the European and global models. And then I haven't really even looked at the updated Canadian. Let's take a look at the updated Canadian. The Canadian, one thing it does decent is snow. Surprise. Let's take a look next weekend. Okay, so the Canadian kind of has a blend of the GFS and Euro. Euro has all the snow up here. GFS has the snow down through Minneapolis. The Canadian has it somewhere in the middle. But they all show a snowstorm pushing down through the northern plains, upper Midwest, and then into New England next weekend. They all show it. And then the Canadian thinks we're going to have massive warm ridging after that. I don't know if we can get that hot. Pittsburgh, PA. I'd expect at least, man, Pittsburgh's tough. I'd expect below average temperatures for Pittsburgh this winter, and I'm average to maybe slightly above average snowfall. I think below average temperatures is pretty safe. Don't say snow. When should Nebraska see its first snow? Nebraska's tough because you can see, just watch as I move forward. Watch the jet stream. Watch our polar jet holding just to the north of Nebraska. And I talked about this in October, early October. October, like, it was so long ago, it was yesterday, but early October. Notice our jet stream pattern, how it's bringing storms into the Dakotas and Minnesota and Iowa potentially, but it's leaving Nebraska out of it, leaving Nebraska out of it, leaving Nebraska. It's all just to the north of Nebraska. So we need that to collapse a little bit more for Nebraska. It's very close, and I spoke about this as well. I think northeastern Nebraska is going to have a much better time than southwestern. This is a true winter battleground state, at least through the first half of winter here, where it could be very above average or below average depending on the angle our jet takes, because you want this angle to be right under Nebraska, through Nebraska potentially, to get that cold shield behind it and warm shield far enough out ahead of it to the southeast to where you're not just in all rain. That being said, I think it's a little bit of a gamble. You may see a ton of snowfall to your north through November and December and not get any till January. But if one of these kind of jet collapses breaks a little bit farther to the south, you could see a big early season snowfall. It's really tough to tell Nebraska. It's a battleground area through the beginning of winter. Yeah, you may end up getting the cold air shots from this, and then the snow being just to your north. Mel, I appreciate you. So guys. I wonder if I can show this on stream. Give me 1 second. I want to show something on stream. There's a guy who I really like on YouTube, and I'm actually going to show his video and comment on it, okay? And he only has 1,000 subscribers, and I don't know why. He is so... I love him when he talks about climatology, and I'm going to show you this guy because I love his videos. Give me 1 second. Is it this guy? Who is it? I think it's this guy. Let's see. Yeah. His videos are great. He's pretty consistent. And he put out one yesterday. You guys are going to love this video. Let's watch it. It's about, he's talking full winter outlook. This dude knows what he's talking about. He's great with me. He's great with climatology. So let me turn off the music, and I want to show you guys this real quick. Turn down the music. Okay? Let me know if you guys can hear this.
And the comparisons between the fall time period of 2000, the blue color that indicates below normal.
By the way, shout out to this guy, Spot On Weather.
Cooler than average water temperatures.
Love this stuff.
Whenever you see the yellows and the oranges, that indicates above normal water temperatures.
All right, so we know what's going on here. I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but I'm gonna show some really important things that he highlights. You guys want to really know what's going on and why I think the way I think. I also watch a lot of his videos. I watch a lot of the premium stuff on Weather Bell, and then I do obviously my own analysis, which is my favorite thing to do.
Let's examine now.
But it's great. You know, you should always kind of see what the community's talking about, what they're seeing, because you really can't see everything. Our climate's so complicated. There's a million different things to look at when trying to forecast. When trying to forecast a winter. So
we're going to look at December. This is December 2000.
Okay, this is December 2000 and December of 2000 going into 2001, and he's comparing the similarities between our ocean temperatures out there.
On the left-hand side, okay.
So look at the similarities here. Look at October 2025. Look at October 2025, guys. Here, let me do this. Look at the. Sorry, my pen's not working. Look at our cold anomalies along the Pacific. And oh my God, why is this like? Hello. There we go. Wait, it's not showing you that. Crap. 1 second. I need to fix this. It's not showing you my pen. I think it's because I need to go to. Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do.
So
we'll
it's
go
not
like this.
quite matching up with where we're at right now, right? As far as the time goes.
I want to be able to highlight stuff, so let me switch screens, and now you should be able to see when I draw on here. All right, you guys can see that now. Perfect. So here's what's going on. Look at our waters along the equatorial Pacific that he's highlighting right now, and where they were in 2000. Look at the warm waters up in the WPO, Western Pacific Oscillation, and some of the cool waters coming through here. There's a lot of similarities between these 2 years, and this may be the best analog we have. And he's the one who pointed it out, and I think it's a really great analog to point out. So he's showing the similarities here, and I'll let him talk more. Here's what we talk about the MJO.
October of 2000, you notice it started in phase 2, and then it worked its way through phase 3, phase 4, up towards phase 5 by the end of October, and then
boom. What's he talking about here, guys? Why is this another good analog? And this is gonna explain how your winter is gonna be wherever you are. So pay attention. This is interesting stuff. I know it looks boring on screen, but you really want to know what happened during this year too. Very similar SST anomalies in the Pacific, which controls our ENSO and a lot of our weather out here in the States. Look at our MJO moving into phase 6, late October. Where are we right now? Same thing, moving into phase 6, late October. Okay, so similar MJOs. Similar SST anomalies in the Pacific. We'll let him continue.
Into phase 6. And where the green line starts here, it generally shows you the MJO is generally going to start in phase 7, work its way weekly into phase 8, phase 1, and then back around by late November into 3 and 4.
I don't think it's going to go that fast, guys.
Happening in the forecast of the MJO here on the right, the Jeffs V12 extended, showing the black line where the MJO has been.
For those of you who don't know, the MJO can really tell us how cold it's going to be in the States, where our winter storm tracks could be. So although this might sound boring, this is extremely boring, and it's going to be good information for you.
So we started here in phase 2 back in November and over to phase 7 by late November. And we see that over here, the red line, we're working generally in the same side of the MJO phase diagram as we did in October of 2000. And so we're seeing MJO phase 3.
So he's saying how similar they are.
That far deeply into December on the forecast here in the middle on the right-hand graphic, but kind of showing you similarities in the MJO how it's moving.
Okay, so very important. Similar MJO. Now watch this.
At the October 500 millibar, oh boy, I misspelled millibar up here, but October 500 millibar height anomalies here. This is October of 2000 on the left-hand side.
Similar.
Courtesy of...
Guys, look how similar this is. Look at our height anomalies here and here. What's happening? Look at our height anomalies here and here. Look at the similarities. So, what does this tell us? Well, maybe we should look at the 2000 to 2001 winter, see what happened there, and then maybe we'll have an idea.
The Climate Prediction Center. Oranges and yellows, upper level ridging. Blues, upper... I just took a snapshot.
So I'm just showing you, because he's taking longer to explain it. It's a 27-minute video. I don't want you guys to sit here for 27 minutes. So here we go.
Anomalies. Okay. Oranges indicate above normal temperatures, blue below normal temperatures. So this was August of 2000 on the left, showing below normal temperatures in the Pacific Northwest, below normal temperatures into the Mid-Atlantic, up towards New England. Different, right? We see above normal temperature anomalies across the Pacific Northwest. We also do not see in August of 2025 the warmer than temperature.
Now let's move in here.
Look at October of 2000 here on the left, showing below normal temperature anomalies into the western U.S.
So, somewhat similar in October again. Look at the warmth. Look at the warmth, okay? Cooler temperatures. You can see some of the similarities here. This one isn't as similar, but there is a decently similar pattern. Cold west, warm plains, below average southeast. So, some decent similarities there.
Above normal temperature anomalies across the central U.S. to the Midwest. And then below normal temperature anomalies along the southeastern coast, up towards the coastal sections of the Mid-Atlantic.
Okay, very similar.
And it's seaboard.
So, what happened in the 2000-2001 winter? Okay, Daddy's talking about meteorology.
I say hi to the stream.
All right, you say hi to the stream one more time. Say hi, stream.
Say hi, stream.
No, don't say the say part. Just say hi, stream.
Hi, stream.
Okay, good job. All right, I'll be done. I'll be done in a little bit.
Come on, cutie. I'll do it. Let's do it upstairs.
All right, so what happened in 2000 and 2001, guys? This could tell us what could happen this winter. This is a really good analog. Well, December 2000, take a look at this. And then take a look at January. Look at December of 2000, guys. Look at December of 2000. Holy cold air through the plains and outies. Holy cold air. January, whew, warm up here. But look at this, cold air. Mid-Atlantic all the way down to the southeast, southern plains, southwest, desert southwest. Okay?
Including the Mid-Atlantic and the southeastern U.S.
Look at that December in 2000.
Normal temperatures were across the desert southwest into California. On the right-hand side, temperature
you guys are talking to me
for January of 2001, it got much warmer, well above normal temperatures across Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, as well as down in Nebraska. And we had below normal temperature anomalies across Florida, the deep southern U.S. there, into parts of the...
So very interesting. What does this say? Ooh, could be a cold December. That's why I think a lot of people could get a little bit of snow earlier in the season in December. So what happened in the 2000-2001 winter? This is February.
Air temp.
This is February, and now this doesn't mean the whole month of February was like this. It's the average of the month. Look at the cold air through this region in February. We got a warm up out east. Sometimes a warm up doesn't mean you didn't see any snow in February. Sometimes this means there's more moisture in the air for snow. So, but we're just looking at temperatures here.
Temperatures there, and then below normal temperatures across the northern plains.
Now, what are the areas that really stand out to me here? What are the areas that stayed cool throughout most of the months? December to February, this region right here, average to cool through most of the winter, 2000. So something else interesting to think about.
It's Nebraska, eastern Montana, Wyoming, and green is slightly above normal precip.
Now, precipitation anomalies. We're looking at December and we're looking at January here. Where's our precip anomalies for those years? Decent precipitation in January through there. Our precipitation's not that bad here. I would say this is looking pretty good, and I would say this is looking pretty good in January. So I do expect us to have more precip, guys, in these regions, like Noah thinks, and that's because some of the anomalies, I think, like our weak La Nina subpolar, warm, below average subpolar North Atlantic anomaly. Sorry, I'm scatterbrained right now. But again,
for December 2000, it was very dry across the Mid-Atlantic. It was also extremely dry across coastal sections of Washington State.
It actually wasn't super dry across the Mid-Atlantic. If you look right here, Eastern PA, including Philly, New Jersey, and New York City, you actually saw about an average precipitation in December. Now, Virginia, Maryland, you guys actually had below average precipitation in December. Once again, though, like I've been saying, this kind of supports what I've been saying as well, guys. If you're asking about snow out in the Mid-Atlantic, I don't think you're going to have a bunch of snowstorms this year. I think you're going to have a few big snowstorms this year. So I'm fine with seeing you below average precipitation.
Oregon,
because I think it's going to come in chunks.
The coast of California. On the right,
let's fast forward a little bit.
It was drier than normal across.
All right, so here we go. February precipitation anomalies for that year. Well, except for the southeast, February was wet for everyone. All right, simple enough. Now let's get into his kind of projection moving forward here. So we're looking at height anomalies. Now I'm looking at when we get this Greenland blocking. Yeah, so this is interesting. Look at December in 2000. Blocking over Greenland and Alaskan ridging. If we were to see this play out, and this is, again, a good analog to look at, we could get definitely some big snowstorms in the Mid-Atlantic and coastal New England early or in December this year. Really good Greenland blocking as well in January. December and January in 2000. Forget what the temperatures and analogs showed precipitation-wise. I have a feeling they had some big snowstorms out east early in the year, December, January of that year. Moving ahead. Teleconnections update. There's not much happening teleconnection-wise. QBO, interesting.
Central Tennessee, Kentucky.
After sudden stratospheric warming, weakening stratospheric polar vortex. This is interesting. We're almost done with this, and then I'll give you the synopsis.
Winter, however. Now, what happened after the sudden stratospheric warming event early 2001? Look at the weakening stratospheric polar vortex after that happened. This was the surface result with temperature anomalies in the greens, well below normal, blue below normal temperature anomalies. So
this was March of that year, guys. Look how cold March was in 2000. Holy smokes.
After the sudden stratospheric warming in February.
Notice what he said. After the sudden stratospheric warming in February. You guys have heard me talk about this. When the stratosphere warms, there's a lagging effect. Okay? Stratospheric warming, which we're having right now. We have a pretty significant stratospheric warming event going on right now. Typically, there's a 2 to 3 week lag. Your stratospheric polar vortex slows, and 2 to 3 weeks later, you get a ton of cold air. Our stratosphere is warming right now. Mid to late November could get extremely cold, just like what happened with the stratospheric warming in February, and then look at their March in 2000. So, not the troposphere. Tropospheric Arctic warming, you get a result within days.
And the weakening stratospheric polar vortex, we saw much colder temperatures down to Texas, Iowa, Missouri, into the deep south, Mississippi, Alabama, western and central Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia. So my primary winter season analog still remains, I'm strongly entrenched in the 2001 winter season. Similarities are in place. We have the weak La Nina that happened in 2001, transition to ENSO neutral.
QBO.
We saw the easterly QBO in the 2001 winter season. And we have the same...
And like he says here, just because certain things happen in 2001 winter season does not mean they will unfold the same exact way in 2025, 2026 winter season. I think there's a better chance they will than they won't. It's not a perfect science. But we're not guessing here. It's called, educated. Where it's, I guess you could say educated. It's an educated guess because we're using data. We're not using feelings. I'm not using vibes. We're using data. Again, look at the similarities. He shows that again. The similarities of the MJO. I mean, there's so much. Now,
Atlantic warmed up.
I'm going to do something. I'm going to go a little bit further here. By the way, guys, give this guy a follow. Spot on Weather. Spot on Weather. You see it right down here. Give this guy a follow if you like this type of stuff. He's always posting awesome updates like this. Anyways, I'm going to go a little bit farther here. and say winter snowfall total snowfall winter 2000 to 2001. Let's see if I can get a map of what actually happened. Where did the snow fall that year? Let's see. What's the best way to type this in? Leanne, I know you can do this. Vibes are more accurate. I want to see what was our snowfall coverage US for 2002-01 winter. Come on. Oh, I know what I can use. I have it in my bookmarks. Climate analogs. Here we go. Okay. Precipitation. No, I don't want that. Oh my gosh, where is it? I have it, stream. Climate. No, that's my climate. I'm already in there. Climate analogs. That's not it. It's here somewhere. Comparison. Snowfall departures. Grid snowfall analysis. Here we go. Oh, I can't go back. No, you're only going back to 2008? No. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, give me a second here. Not the year of 2001. It's the 2000 to 2000. And when you type in that, Kelly, it just gives you like a description. I want to show you the coverage. I might be able to do it in Climate Reanalyzer. Maybe I can do it in Weatherbell, because you have analogs on here. Let's see. Long range global CPC. Yeah, the historical SSTs. This is ocean temperatures. This is going to drive me crazy, guys. Give me 2 more seconds. If I can't find it, we'll move on. But this is going to be I think this will be really interesting. Climate Reanalyzer, maybe. Climate Maps, maybe, as well. Climate Maps. All right, let's see. Climate charts. Pressure distribution, height anomaly, blah, 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 blah. Let me try climate charts, and then we'll move on. If one of you can find the total snowfall map coverage, one of my mods or anyone in my Discord, snowfall coverage, what the total snowfall was from the 2000 to 2000 for the 2000-2001 winter, just post it in Discord and let me know, and we'll move on here. Oh, this might show. This is the last thing I'll try here. Precipitation, temperature, normal, maximum. No, it's fine. Yeah, if one of you guys can find that, let me know. But anyways, we'll get back here. We'll get back to here. Pivotal. Man, the Pacific Northwest, jeez. I wonder, will the Triad of North Carolina get some good snow this year? That's another winter battleground zone. Oh my gosh, winter battleground zone this year. But if you do get some good snow, I think it will be earlier on in the season than you typically receive it. Again, that region, I'd expect not a ton of snowstorms, but you could get 1 or 2. You could have 1 or 2 chances for a big one, for decent accumulation. I'd be shocked if Charlotte didn't get one good accumulating snowstorm this year, especially because they've been in a drought. But Same with the triangle. Go look in Weather Talk. Did you find it? Hold up. That's not really it. That's... yeah, I don't think that's really it. Where? Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, because, I mean, this isn't showing seasonal. We don't even have 2000 on here. Yeah, and we're not seeing totals either. I can find it. It would just take me a second, and I don't want to take that long on stream. You know? Confused Blind was popping. So far, that's the best I've found. Yeah, I mean, like, there's this one site here that I've used before. A lot of them just go back to, like, 08 to 05, and they don't go back to 2000. It's really annoying. Climate analysis, tropical hazard, La Nina precipitation. I have so many in here. Let's see here. Yeah, now I'm like fully committed. So this is snowfall departures. And let's see here. This isn't even loading correctly. We want to go for the season. And if we go to map wall image portal, long range ensembles, satellite analysis, past weather. Okay, past weather. No, that's going to be daily. It should be much easier to find this stuff, guys. It should be much easier. It's out there. I'll have it for next stream. Next stream, guys, tomorrow, I will show you what the snowfall, actually snowfall anomalies. Snowfall anomalies, US 2000, 2001 winter. Oh, I might have just found it. Okay, view. Okay, show me. Can you show me a map? Look at this. It's showing me. No, show me a map. Show me the map. Gosh, they don't need to make everything so complicated. And now I can't even go back. Oh, here we go. Oh. Snowfall anomalies. Winter. Okay, here's the review. Oh, that one almost had it. All right, we'll look at it next stream. I'll get it for next stream, guys. I'm over it. Yeah, I posted another one that only goes back to 2002. Not Connor yelling at the computer. All right. Well, moral of the story, guys, before I get off, the GFS is being very aggressive with snow over the next couple of weeks. There's the 06Z up north, at least up north and through inner New England. There's the 06, there's the 00Z putting tons of snow down into Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, lots in the Rockies, up and down the Appalachian Range, and then up and down New England, just away from the coast. The Euro likes a lot of snow down there in southern Appalachia as well. Temperature trends. Temperature trends, here we go. Stays cool out east and in the plains for a little bit here, but then we have a big warm-up as we get into next week. Look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is above average warm. It's not warm because it's November warm, so it's fine. It's actually probably really nice weather, probably 60s, 70s, but way above average temperatures really Monday to Friday for everyone except for the Pacific Northwest and kind of portions of the Mid-Atlantic and New England. Then we get into next weekend, and we cool see a major cool down. Next weekend, and then right after that into the 10th and 11th, and we could see a monster cooldown for everyone across the state. So very a lot of swinging in temperatures, but one thing remains consistent. If you want cooler weather, colder weather than normal, you're going to want to be way out east and probably up through the northern portions of the Dakotas and or North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. MJO cycle is making it look like we are going to have a pretty cold November and December, early January, like I said, going into phase 7, 8, and 1. Combined with the weak La Nina, more active winter tracks, probably December and January for late December, maybe early January for a potential nor'easter out there in the Mid-Atlantic and New England as well. So fun stuff. Fun stuff. I'm glad we got to go over and watch that video because I think the 2000, 2001 analog is really good. And I'm going to find that analog. Actually, if you guys follow me on X, Connor's Climate Corner. Is it HQ? What's my X? Or Climate Corner HQ. Climate Corner HQ. Or if you're in my Discord, I'm going to post the anomalies, snowfall anomalies for the winter of 2000 to 2001. So you guys have an idea of maybe what your winter could look like snow-wise this year. That's a really great analog. I think he's right for 2000, 2001. So I'll just post that. And I'm going to look for it right when I get off stream, and I'm going to post it. So you can Climate Corner HQ on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Or I'll post it on my Discord. If you want to get on my Discord, just add me on Discord, Connor's Climate Corner HQ, Connor's Climate Corner HQ, and then I'll make you part of the Climate Crew, and you'll be able to see that. And again, on X, it's Climate Corner HQ. I'll post that. I think that could tell you if you're going to have a crappy winter or a good winter. We'll talk about this more tomorrow. Cold around Thanksgiving. It does look like we're going to be pretty cold around Thanksgiving, yeah. When's the snowfall first snowfall predicted for Minnesota or for central Minnesota? We may only be about 10 days out from that or less from what the models are showing. So that's when it could be. My prediction is early third week of November. My prediction is we're like 15, 16 days away from it. But there's a chance here that we actually get snow in Minneapolis within 9 to 10 days. Y2K messing with you, yeah. Try and chat GPT. That's true. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I will be back. I have a video posted of everything that's going on today as well. Like I said, I'm going to post that so you guys can see that, and I'll be back tomorrow. I might even do another little upload video later in the day today, but I'll be back streaming tomorrow. You guys are awesome. Mod, you're awesome. Everyone, you're awesome. I appreciate all my new 7 followers. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the follows, the gifts, the interactions in the stream to help with the algorithm, and I will talk to you guys a little bit later. No problem, Kay. Peace.